Hey guys, it's Andrew at Night, and today I'm going to show you how you can make your Android phone, this is an HTC One, look very much like iOS 7. Now the first thing I'm going to say before I do this is I did a video yesterday which was just how to get the notification center or the control center for Android, and a couple of people posted on that saying, why on earth would you want to do that? It's Android, you don't want iOS, Android's better. And I completely agree with all that. I think Android's a better operating system, but I love the fact you can do this on Android. And no, I'm not going to spend sort of weeks and weeks with this as my launcher, but it's quite fun just to mess around with and see you can actually emulate other user interfaces so easily on Android. You can do all this without rooting. You can get the different coloured notification bar, or the iOS themed notification bar. If it will focus on it, which you can see there, you've got the notification center, you've got your launch control, you've got the home screen which has the support at the bottom for multitasking, things like that. So it looks really like iOS 7, and I just love the fact you can do that on Android. So I'm just going to quickly run through all the apps you need to do. I'm going to put those on screen. You can also find links to them all in the description, and then I'm going to run through each one in turn. Now the main one you're going to be using is called SBA Launcher, and this is what I've used to create this home screen. I haven't customised this aside from downloading the iOS 7 theme, which I'll put a link to in the description. You also then want to go into Preferences, and there's a few things you need to tweak. So the first thing you want to do is choose icon size best fit, and then put 5 and 4, this should be the default in fact, and just change all those to that, then it'll look most like iOS 7. The next thing you need to do is tap on Advanced at the bottom, and then where it says Auto Phone and Pad, you want to change it to Phone Mode. This will make the icons much bigger and look much more like iOS 7 does on an iPhone, rather than having them quite small. If you've got a device which you've rooted and changed the LCD density, it'll mess it about a bit, so you want to make sure it's forced onto Phone Mode. Also I suggest turning full screen off, as that sort of messes up the bar a little bit. Also at the bottom I've turned animation, transition and background off. This makes the whole thing look a bit flatter, a little bit more like iOS 7, and seems to be a tiny bit quicker, but they're all options you can fiddle with. Next thing you need to do is open up the SBA app. I've actually got it hidden, so if I pinched, as if pinching to zoom on the screen, I can open up my hidden apps, and SBA is there. So open up the SBA hub. Once you're there, you want to tap on the plugins, and you want to download SBA Notification. You can download that if you hit at the bottom and hit More Online Plugins, or you can just go to the link in the description and download it. Then you want to open up the settings. You want to turn it on. Then you need to enable the service and accessibility. Next, you want to hit Clear Status Bar, which will give you this iOS style notification bar at the top. Oops. Hit battery percentage if you want the battery percentage. Now with the notification center, what you need to do is go into it and run through every single app that you want to receive notifications for. So for example messaging, press it, and then you can enable it. You can then change the status bar color for that app if you want to. Make sure it's on, and you can turn either no banner, center banner, or the big pop-up banner. I think this is most like iOS 7, so that's what I've been using. You can then also add the badge icon to the home screen, which is pretty important. You can also then do view in lock screen. This doesn't work on the lock screen I'm currently running, however it does work on the SBA lock screen, but the SBA lock screen still looks like an older version of iOS. They pop up a nice little balloon here when you first get them, just at the top of the screen. You get this nice badge, and you also have them appearing in the notification center, as you can see there. So all in all it works quite well, looks much like iOS 7, and is actually kind of functional. Then if you go into themes, you can see here there's the iOS 7 style theme, which I'll have a link to in the description again. You want to apply that, and then once they're all applied, you should have a home screen that looks very much like iOS 7. The last touch to this is the lock screen, and there is an SBA lock screen, however it doesn't look like iOS 7. This one is called the iOS 7 Parallax Lockscreen, and as you can see there, if it'll ever focus, it's pretty true to form. You can swipe up from the camera to launch the camera. Hello. Or you can swipe to the side and it will unlock your device. If the autofocus ever catches up. Come on. Come on. How's there? That's maybe a little bit better. The other cool thing on SBA Launcher is there's a few things you get which you don't get with iOS 7. If you hit the back button, you get a widget pane. I haven't added any widgets here, but you can hold down, and then for example we could add a analog clock, and that's just there. You can move it around. It's kind of limited, it's not as customizable as something like Nova Launcher, but at least you've got the option to use widgets. You can also drop shortcuts on there. As I said, you can open up here and you've got the multitasking. So if you hold one down, they start shaking around and you can hit that button just to get rid of them. You can still use the Android multitask if you wish to, but this launcher makes the home button go a little bit weird. There you go. So the first time you hold it down, it will go to that other screen. But you can still use that if you want to. You can see you do get like night notifications on all the things. They're like the badges that you get on Nova Launcher. You can see the notification center actually works quite well. You've got your widgets at the top, the quick settings. You've also got those quick settings along the bottom here. So you've got both. But it works really well. You drag down, it looks very much like iOS7. You've still got a notification from Google Now there. So it actually works quite nicely. If you pull down from this top corner, you can open up your normal notification bar if you want to. However, actually it does work quite well. It feels a bit like iOS. I haven't used a iOS device for ages, but it does feel like it, it looks like it, and it is vaguely functional for the first time in a while if you actually want to run this on your phone as a home screen every day. I don't particularly like it, but it's actually kind of functional and I don't completely hate it. So that's how you can get iOS 7 on your HTC One or any other Android phone. Have a play with all the different apps. If there's any more apps you suggest which will skin your phone like this, put them in the comments below so if anyone's looking for them they can find them. And subscribe if you haven't seen them before, and I'll see you guys in the next video.